Hey everybody, we are outside. Today we are on the trail using the DJI Pocket 2. I'm out of breath because I'm out of shape. So try not to pay attention to that. But I'm using this camera today, see if it still holds up in 2025. And if it's able to hang with the much more sophisticated, bigger sensor cameras that are currently available, like its older sibling, the Pocket 3. Let me know, after reviewing the video, what you think. Image quality, audio, it's all inboard, internal audio. So let me know what you think. And does it still hold up in 2025? So hey, enjoy the video. Okay, so now we are back inside, still using the DJI Osmo Pocket 2, but I want to kind of go over the pros and the cons of using this camera today out on the trail. Now, let's start off with the pros. First, pocketable. Just like the name says, it's the Pocket 2, and it is very pocketable. So the case, nice and small, fits right in your pocket, and yes, I've got cool stickers on there. But this makes carrying your camera very convenient. If you have a standard camera, they tend to be larger, bulkier, don't fit in your pocket. You have to take a bag. This slides right into your pocket, so it does live up to the name, the Pocket 2. Now the second thing is the microphones. Now while I was out on the trail, I used the internal microphones. And so I never have to worry about audio quality if I'm going to be vlogging with this camera, because I know the microphones are going to pick up my voice, and it's going to be, you're going to be able to understand it, it's going to be intelligible, and so I don't have to worry about that. So that is definitely a pro. I can't tell you how many cameras I've used where that is not the case, where either your voice sounds muffled or it doesn't pick up unless you're really close to the camera. So this is very nice to have, and it allows me to trust my camera when I don't have things like an external mic like I've got now. So also within microphones, I do have the Mic 1, the DJI Mic 1 that comes with the Creator Kit, and this pairs without any kind of receiver. You just turn it on, automatically pairs, so that is another pro when using the DJI Pocket 2. Now the third one would be, image quality. I know we've kind of waited to use that one later in the list, but for such a small sensor, it does provide a very good, reliable image. Now, it's not the best image, and it's not really gonna be better than a lot of newer cameras, but it will compete with those cameras, and I think it looks similar to what you would get out of your smartphone, because the sensor size is pretty similar. Now the fourth thing would be the stabilization, but we all know that with a gimbal style camera you are going to get that high level stabilization, so that's not a surprise. Now let's talk about some of those cons, and there weren't a whole lot, but there are always some. Now one, when you do take it out of the case, you do have to be very aware of how you handle the camera, because that gimbal, it's rather sensitive, it's fragile, and so you do have to keep that in mind. So you can't treat this like an action camera. So that is a con. So and you can't throw it in your pocket without the case. So the form factor of this camera can be considered a con. Now, microphone. I know I put that in the list as a pro, but it's also a con because the microphones are on the camera body. And so usually on a camera, a traditional camera, those capsules are on top. So it's hard to get your hand over the top of them to cover them up. But on this particular camera, there's one in the front, there's another one on the side. And so when you grip it like this, sometimes you can, if you're not covering the microphone, you can, run your hand across it and create some noise. So that is a con, just the placement of those microphones. You've got to be very deliberate with how you're holding the camera. Also, the gimbal, as much as it is a pro, it's also a con because when you turn the camera on and you're using it, sometimes it's aimed where you don't want it to aim, or it won't follow what you want it to follow. And so the gimbal can be kind of tricky. Today while I was out there on the trail, I was using it in FPV mode and I had the wide angle lens. And so I was holding it lengthwise. And so the camera was facing forward and I'm holding it like this. And as I'm trying to get a low level shot on the ground, it must have been the weight of that wide angle lens, but the lens itself, the gimbal started pointing down to the ground. And so I had to constantly adjust that. And then there were times where I wanted it to go straight and it was looking off in a different direction. So the gimbal, as much as it can provide that stable image, can also be a con because there are times where you swear it has a mind of its own and it's just kind of doing its own thing. Also, when it comes to that lens, having to put on a wide angle lens to get a wider field of view. In some cameras, you have the ability to change the field of view. And so this you do not. Now you can zoom in, but that's a digital zoom, but you can't make it any wider. So you have to use an external piece to make that wider. So that can be considered a con. Also, and this is the kind of a nitpicky one, but it's the last con, changing the different, like going from video to photo, it's not a switch like you would see on a standard camera. Like I've got a Nikon Z30 and it's just a really quick thumb switch and you can see if you're in photo mode or if you're in video mode, and the screen looks different as well. But on this, everything looks the same. So if you thought you were in video and you're like, hey, I just turned the camera on, I want to take a video, and you press record, if you were in photo when you turned it off, now you're still in photo and you just took a picture and you didn't actually start a video. So it's hard to tell, especially with the small screen, what mode you're in, so that can be considered a con. But all in all, I had a great time using this camera today. It takes great images. I got some really nice results. It's very convenient, easy to use, fits in your pocket. And so if you're just starting out and you're looking for a camera that's going to provide reliable results, give you great stabilization, great internal audio, 4K 30, then hey, give the DJI Pocket 2 a look. And if you want to find other cameras or see reviews about other cameras like this, maybe a little older but less expensive and great place to start, hey, become a subscriber and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when other videos drop. And hey, take a look around the site and see if there are other videos that you might enjoy watching. Hey, this is Mike. This is Load F Media. Appreciate you taking the time. We'll see you in the next one.